Welcome everyone, this is Mundan Raghavan and this video we are going to see the codegen tool in Playwright. This tool will be helping us to generate the code by recording the user actions in the given website. So let's jump into the video. So for that we will just go to the Eclipse first and we will understand the previous example code because we have just copied the code in the previous video and we executed. So now we will try to see here. So it is having the example class and the main method, and it starts with a try with the resource. So that means that whatever you write inside your resource area, try area, it will be maintained and it will be used and it will be closed automatically at the end of the execution, which means that you don't need to close these resources at the end manually. It will close automatically if you write inside your try block. Then we are creating the browser object by using the Playwright object because we already created the Playwright object by using the try with resource. Then we are using the Chromium browser engine to launch it. And when you launch it every time, by default, it will be the headless mode. If you want explicitly in the headed mode, then you will be using the options, launch options. So browser type dot launch options. Then you will set the property set headless mode as false. Then after that, you are creating the page. It is something like in your browser, you are creating the tab or page. Then you are just creating the page object. Then you are navigating to the page by using the URL. Then you are just printing the title. So this is the simple code we have used in the previous video. Just one more time, we will execute and see the output. Now it is open in the headed mode. So that's the reason we are seeing the browser and the visual representation. Then we are getting the output. You can go to the console and check it. Now let's go into the codegen. So in order to understand the codegen, we will again go to the official documentation playwright.dev, and in the dropdown we have selected the Java and click on docs and click on the getting started. There you can see the recorded scripts. So in order to record it, we will be using some Maven command. So this is a Maven command. We will just understand what this command actually means. So let's copy paste. I think you can use the copy icon. Okay, Control A, V. Just go to the starting and line by line we will understand. Maven, obviously we are executing the Maven command. Execute Java, so we are using as execute Java file. And these are the inputs. So you are giving execute main class. Okay, the main class of this is the library. So in this library, or let's say in this package, com.microsoft.playwright.cli, we are executing the Java file and with arguments like a codegen. And codegen has the another argument, second argument, the website to be recorded. So we will confirm whether it is present or not. So let's go to the dependencies, Maven dependency, or let's say it is com.microsoft. Okay, let's go to the Playwright, com.microsoft.playwright, open and look for the CLI. So here you are having the CLI. So this CLI we are going to execute with the two arguments. One is codegen, another one is like the argument which is like a browser or let's say the website URL. Okay, so now let's close this. This is some internal implementation. Okay, now we will go try to execute the same thing. Again, just going to the official documentation, copy it again. And this Maven command should be executed in the same project level. It is not something like you can execute from any project level. It should be in the same project level. So one way is just go to the Eclipse. If your IDE has the terminal, you can just open in or show in local terminal. It automatically opens in the same project folder. Now I am just pasting here. So now it is going to generate the code for the wikipedia.org. Obviously, it will open the browser in one hand, another hand it will open the tool, which is recording. Enter. You can see this is the browser opened by the Playwright and this is the recorder. By default, it generated all the code just till now, which means that we opened the headed mode browser and we opened the page and we navigated to the wikipedia.org. For example, I'm just clicking here and looking for Playwright and click on search button. Okay, this is something giving the general information about the Playwright. Okay, fine. So we have done some user interaction. Now I will go to the recorder. There is a record button. So we will understand something on this recorder tool. Currently the recording is going on. So that's the reason you are seeing the recording or record button is enabled in red. I just stop it. Then you will see the generated code. And here you can see you can copy the code again. We will understand how to copy and how to execute in some time. But before that, we will see the code. Okay, so here import statements, and it has been having the again same try block, which is having the resource so that we don't need to close the Playwright object manually. Then browser with the set headless mode. Sorry, headless mode false, so it will open in the headed mode. And browser context. So this is something different. Why? Because you can create the context for the browser, which means that every user can be having the different setups, like a different plugin, or let's say different setup in the session on cookies. You can make something on the context level so that you can open the different browser with a different context. So you can implement the multiple user interaction. For example, you logged into your Chrome browser with a Gmail account. If you open another tab, by default, it will consider your previous cookies or the Gmail account to open the another tab. But in this scenario, you can create an entire new brand tab with incognito mode. It will have its own context. But in this recording, we are not having any special requirement for the context. So we will consider that one as a simple context. That's the reason we are not setting up anything on the context. So from the context also, you can create the new page. Under the page, you are navigating to the wikipedia.org. And here you can see it is just finding the locator and clicking on it, and page locator and so on. So simply it is finding the locator and doing the actions like click button, or let's say fill the data entered and again click. And again, it is checking something on the click button, right? And everything will be having the auto-generated comments as well. And some places, when you click on the new page or something, you are making some changes into the URL, then even it will automatically create the asset statements for that. For example, here we have chosen Playwright to be searched. So that's the reason the URL will be appended with the Playwright at the end. So it is making sure that you are in the same URL. What happens is, like, if you have any malicious code in your website, if you click that link, the entire URL will be redirected to the another URL. That will be the problem. So this kind of assets will make sure that you are in the same main, let's say, origin. So that means that you are in the same domain name, https en wikipedia.org. It is not changing. So we can confirm that by asserting the URL. Okay, so this is one. And one more thing is, like, here explore button. Again, you can just restore. And here you can use this explore even after recording. You can click here and you can see different locators. Now, if you see, it will generate the locator for you. You can use that locator for your manual writing code inside your Java code. For example, it can be in the inspector or it can be in your Eclipse. Okay, fine. So this is a simple thing, and even you can execute, let's say, the play button, resume button, and you can go step by step. In the debugging, we will see in detail. The same inspector can be used for the debugging as well. But as of now, we are seeing as a recording tool. So we have recorded already. Now here, one more drop down. It is something like you can convert the same code into the different languages. Let's say, for example, I know the Python, so I can click Python and I can see the same thing. So here you can see in the Python, it's not about language, but here you can see the browser object and context object can be closed manually. But whereas in Java, we did not do that. This is because we have the try with resource. So the try with resource block will take care of closing the objects which are already opened inside your try block. And all the objects was created by using the playwright object. So that's the reason when you use the playwright.close used by the try object, sorry, try with resources, it closes other dependent objects also. So that means that we don't need to care about the closing the objects or closing the playwright or browser or web page. Okay, same thing you can see in the JavaScript, which is the Node.js. Again, it will be having other kind of syntaxes like a asynchronous function. Okay, so and you can see the again await statements and different things, but the locators and other things will be almost same. Okay, now we are focusing on the Java side, so I will again convert into the Java, and here you can copy. Okay, now I will go to the Eclipse. Okay, let's create one more example, or let's say I will copy paste here itself. So Control A, V. Again, it is the same example. Just save it, and you can remove the unorganized, unused imports. You can organize that one. Okay, so then remaining thing all looks good. So without touching any other information, even you can have the same kind of the unused imports also. It will not make any problem for you. Just I copy pasted and I'm just trying to execute one more time. Just to make sure that our recording does not require any again coding skills or any other code changes again. So directly it's executing and giving the output to you. Okay, so this way it's very clear that we can use the code generator to generate the code in the different languages, but we are using the Java language. Now we can see this actually this entire commands looking a little lengthy, and we are using the maven command every time. So we can reduce this in a different ways. One way is like directly you can go to the Eclipse, right click on the project and click on run as and go to the Maven configuration or run configuration. Here click on the Maven build and click on new. And again going to the command, just copy that command and here you can see. So this is the new configuration. Let's say codegen wiki, because I'm looking code generator only for the wiki website, right? So that's the reason. Choose the project which you have. And here you can copy with the same goal. But in this case, you can go to the home. I mean, you can press the home button and remove the MVN, because since we are already in the Maven configuration, we don't need to again mention MVN again here in this place. But if you're executing from the command line, then we need that MVN. So remaining thing looks good. Okay, then just run it. So again, you can see it is starting recording. Right now, again, you can do the different actions as you like. Just I'm closing this one. So if you want to do the same thing again, you don't need to go to the terminal. Again, you can just go to the run and click on this drop down. Here you can see the codegen wiki. So next time you can directly click here and execute those things. Okay, and another example can be like in this, it is only looking for the wiki site, right? So you want to change it something, again go to the run configuration. Okay, here you can change some variables, or otherwise we will try in a different way. Okay, here let it be the Wikipedia only. Why? Because you create the project for a specific application, so most of the times you will be using the same application. In case if you want to change anything, you can change into the arguments. So let's create one batch file so that we can understand some more things. So let's say I'm going to create batch file is like a codegen.bat finish. Okay, no issues. Let's open with. Let me open in text editor. Okay, so generally this bat file will run all the commands, even including the Maven command. So I'm just going to use call. I'm going to use the same command which is mentioned here. Paste, and instead of here, I want to pass it from the terminal. So that's the reason I will mention that one as the %1. Even you can mention %* also, which means that all the inputs will be given here after the arguments, multiple arguments. But for simplicity, I will give only the %1. Okay, I'm just saving this. Now I will go to the terminal again. Okay, just clear it. Just go to the terminal and I will make it little bigger. Okay, okay, we need to close the existing recorders. So let's close it. PLS enter, and now just type code. So codegen bat, right? And I am giving the different website now. Let's go to the different website. Let's go to the same one. Something different so that we can see the actions. Okay. So let's take this URL. I want to go it. So let's paste it here. Enter. So here you can see the output will be using the docs input actions. So again, the recorder has been started with the different URL. So what happens is like, so when you have the dynamic inputs, you can use something like that. For example, now if you want to go to some other URL directly, rather than typing entire command like a maven execute main class, this entire command. So we will just type codegen.bat, then you will be passing the different inputs. For example, now I will type the API testing URL or the brand new URL, something like a SaaS demo Cypress. Let's take some sample website that we are going to use in the future time. Okay, let's go into this lab. So this is the sample website. We can test around for the sample scenario. So just try to navigate to this one to record it. So rather than typing entire one or going to this Eclipse commands, you can use it from here. Enter. Now here you can see SaaS demo has been opened. Just I'm going to do some basic login functionality. Standard user. right? And here secret, login. Here you can see the page. Now go to here and stop the recording, and here you can see the code, entire code for that SAS demo page. Right? Now I am just convert this one into the our class. Let's go to here. Again, replace with the existing code. Save it and right click, run as the Java application. So before that, I will first avoid this confusion. Yes, here you can see login has been completed. So here you can understand. So there are multiple ways that use the code generator. Again, you don't need to type this entire Maven command again and again. So we can directly use the Eclipse commands like a Maven configuration from the dropdown. Once you set up, you can directly click on this. You can even do the parameterization there as well. But I would prefer to code gen back, because every time clicking here, it will be creating more time. At the same time, even we don't need the Eclipse, we can directly go to the project folder and we can execute. For example, I am just don't consider I have the Eclipse now. Let's go into the System Explorer. So from here, I'm just going to the Playwright Java automation. And from here, I'm opening the terminal directly without opening the Eclipse, you consider. And here I'm typing the code gen. Okay, and just type the SAS demo URL. I click paste it and enter. Even from terminal also you can use it, so that you don't need the Eclipse ID always. Okay, so this way we can understand this code gen can also, I mean, the bat file also can be used, but if you are using the Linux system, you might be using the shell script. Again, the concept is same. You are executing the Maven command through the shell script, and you are giving only the website URL in your arguments list, so that it will be used inside your shell script. In case in our system, it is the bat file, which is for Windows system. Okay, so this is all about the code generator. So now we have seen how to invoke the code generator for the different websites. And the direct way will be like a copying the Maven command or using the same Maven command by replacing with the URL. Other way is like just using the Maven configuration so that you can run multiple times if it is the same website. Otherwise, you can create the code gen bat file so that you can use only the bat file, just passing the URL to that, so that it will open a different time with the different URLs. And you can use the code directly into your class, and you can start using and executing the automation. But however, this code may not be very efficient in case if you are having a multiple scenarios or the complex scenario or logic based scenario. We cannot use daily or let's say every time main method as a simple class, everything into the single one. So that's the reason we will be getting into the programming area in the different aspects in coming days. Then we will understand what are the other options from the Playwright we can use it, like page object model, or we can use the inspector. So what are the things we are doing using the Playwright, that we will see in the coming sessions. So this is all about the code generator. So thanks all. Thanks for watching and have a great day.